Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about the dreaded P0448 fault code. This code indicates a problem with the evaporation emission vent control system, which is responsible for preventing fuel vapors from escaping into the atmosphere. We'll be covering the symptoms of this code, what causes it, and how to fix it. We'll also be providing some tips on how to prevent this code from coming back in the future. So if you're experiencing the P0448 code, or if you just want to learn more about it, then be sure to watch this video. The P0448 code indicates a problem with the evaporation emission vent control circuit. This system is responsible for preventing fuel vapors from escaping into the atmosphere. When the code is triggered, it means there's a short circuit somewhere in the circuit, causing the system to malfunction. Several things can cause the P0448 code, including faulty vent control valve. This valve is responsible for opening and closing the vent, and if it fails, it can cause the code to be triggered. Damaged wiring or connectors. The wiring and connectors in the vent control circuit can become damaged or corroded, leading to a short circuit. Vacuum leak. A leak in the vacuum lines can also cause the code to be triggered. Faulty PCM. In rare cases, the powertrain control module PCM can be faulty and cause the code to be triggered. The most common symptom of the P0448 code is the illumination of the check engine light. Other symptoms may include strong fuel odor. This is a sign that fuel vapors are escaping from the system. Poor fuel economy. The malfunctioning vent control system can lead to increased fuel consumption. Rough idle. In some cases, the code can cause the engine to idle rough. If you're experiencing the P0448 code, it's important to have it diagnosed and repaired by a qualified mechanic. Ignoring the code can lead to further problems with your vehicle's emissions system. Here are some additional resources that you may find helpful. OBD2 trouble code P0448. https://www.obdcodes.com/P0448. P0448 code causes, symptoms, diagnosis and amp. Fixes. https://www.yourmechanic.com/article/P0448 code by Spencer Clayton. P0448 evaporative emission control system vent control circuit short to battery. https://www.youtube.com/watch v=z630_85n1_8. I hope this information is helpful. The P0448 code is a generic OBD2 code that indicates a problem with the evaporative emission EVAP system vent control circuit. The EVAP system is designed to prevent fuel vapors from escaping into the atmosphere. The vent control valve is responsible for opening and closing the vent line, which allows air to enter the EVAP system and purge the fuel vapors. There are a few different ways to diagnose the P0448 code. One way is to use a scan tool to read the freeze frame data. This data will show you the conditions under which the code was set, such as the engine speed and load. You can also use a scan tool to perform a live data test of the vent control valve. This test will show you whether the valve is opening and closing properly. Another way to diagnose the P0448 code is to perform a visual inspection of the EVAP system. Look for any loose or damaged hoses, as well as any signs of corrosion or damage to the vent control valve. You can also try to manually open and close the vent control valve to see if it is working properly. The most common cause of the P0448 code is a faulty vent control valve. The vent control valve is a solenoid-operated valve that is located on the EVAP canister. The valve is responsible for opening and closing the vent line, which allows air to enter the EVAP system and purge the fuel vapors. If the vent control valve is faulty, it will not open and close properly. This will prevent the EVAP system from purging the fuel vapors, and the P0448 code will be set. To fix the P0448 code, you will need to replace the vent control valve. The vent control valve is typically located on the EVAP canister, which is located under the vehicle near the fuel tank. The P0448 code is a relatively common code. It is most likely to occur in vehicles that are more than 10 years old. The code can also be caused by a loose or damaged gas cap. If you are experiencing the P0448 code, it is important to have it diagnosed and repaired as soon as possible. The EVAP system is an important part of your vehicle's emissions control system, and a faulty EVAP system can lead to increased emissions and poor fuel economy,